Hi, guys. Today we are going to read out of the book. We are going to read pages 168 to 177. So if you can just follow along in your book as I read to you, that would be wonderful. So go ahead and get open to page 168. And at the top, it says Life on the Blue Planet. Because of most of Earth is covered by water, it is often called the blue planet. Life is found in water, on land, and everywhere in between. The environment consists of all the living and non-living things in an area. Look at the picture on these pages. The environment shown here includes the animals, plants, water, soil, air, and everything else in the picture. Animals and plants depend on their environment to meet their needs. For example, the zebras in the picture get food, water, and shelter from their environment. Earth has many types of environments. For instance, Arctic environments are very cold. Tropical rainforests are very hot. Some types of environments are deep in the ocean. Others are on dry land with very little rainfall. Because there are so many types of environments on Earth, there are also many types of living things. Each living thing or organism is able to survive in its own environment. Now on page 169. Earth's different environments are home to many types of living things. This mountain goat's environment is different from the zebra's environment. Do the math. The largest environment in Earth is the ocean. Water covers about 7/10 of Earth's surface. The rest is land. Use this information to determine how much of Earth's surface is land. Label the circle graph below. So where it's blue for the water or the oceans, you are going to label it 7/10. So then how many tenths is going to be for the green part, which is land? You need to label that. Now on to page 170. Who is out on a limb? Did you guess a blue jay? You are right. Blue jays are small and have feet that can grip tree branches. Ostriches are large. They have long legs and wide, strong feet. Blue jays have adaptations that help them live in trees, while ostriches do not. An adaptation is a characteristic that helps a living thing survive. Let's read about the ostrich. Ostriches live on grasslands. They have long, strong legs that enable them to run quickly in open spaces. Their brown color helps them blend in. Prairie dogs have strong paws for digging burrows. Their brown color enables them to blend in with their environment. A physical adaptation is an adaptation to a body part. Living things have different physical adaptations based on their specific environments. For example, plants and animals in open spaces have different physical adaptations than living things in forests. In open spaces, grasses can bend in strong winds. Grassland animals have coverings to blend in with the grass. These animals may be able to run fast or have shovel-like paws for burrowing. Living things in forests have physical adaptations to live in and around trees. Vines can climb up trees to help leaves reach sunlight they need to make food. Many forest animals can grip branches. Let's read about the blue jay. This blue jay's curved feet help it grip small branches. Its wings enable it to fly from branch to branch. This sloth's long claws help it to hang from tree branches for most of its life. A sloth can even sleep without letting go of the branch. Describe the prairie dog's grassland adaptations that help it survive in its environment. Okay, so you need to answer that question. Please make sure to use race. You're restating the prompt, answering the question, citing evidence, and explaining. And if you forget about the prairie dog, you can go back to page 170 to reread about it. Moving on to 172 and 173. Who can go with the flow? Some living things swim upstream while others go with the flow. Which adaptations do living things need in different water environments? Imagine you live in a constantly flowing stream of water. How could you stay in the same part of the stream without being carried away? Many fish that live in streams have smooth bodies and strong tails. These characteristics help fish swim against the current. Water plants have flexible stems that allow them to bend with the flow. Many water insects are able to hold on tightly to water plants. Other insects burrow into the soil at the bottom of the stream. This fish has a smooth, streamlined body. Its body shape allows it to swim quickly in fast-moving water. Elota are very flexible plants, so flowing water is less likely to break them. If a piece of elota is pulled off, through the piece, it can sprout roots and start to grow in a new part of the stream. 173. Plants in still water, such as ponds and lakes, have different adaptations. Some plants are tall and have strong stems, so they can grow above the water. Water lilies have wide, flat leaves that float on the water's surface to take in sunlight. Animals that live in lakes and ponds are excellent swimmers. Many are adapted to living in deep water with this little light. Catfish have whiskers that sense chemicals in the water to help them find food in the dark. Some birds wade at the shore and hunt. Their long, thin legs look like cattails, so fish do not see them until it's too late. Cattails grow in relatively still, shallow water, such as the water of a pond. Their stems are strong and stiff. Cattails can grow to more than 3 meters tall. Pond turtles are strong swimmers. They are also able to hold their breath for long periods of time. Their dark color allows them to stay hidden in dark, muddy water. Explain how the adaptations of the elota and the cattail enable these plants to survive in their environments. Again, if you need to go back and reread about the elota and the cattails, you can. The elota is on page 172 and the cattails are on 173. Make sure you answer the question. 174. Who can take the heat? Deserts are places that get very little rain. Some deserts are very hot. How do plants and animals live in such dry places? Desert plants and animals have physical adaptations that help them stay cool and conserve water. The leaves and stems of many desert plants have waxy coatings to minimize water loss. Many of these plants have very long roots to reach water that is deep underground. Some desert plants have wide root systems that can absorb lots of water when it rains. Desert animals have physical adaptations to keep cool. Some have short, thin fur or no fur at all. Many reptiles live in deserts. This lizard's scales helps it keep water inside its body. Jackrabbits have large ears. Their ears release body heat and help the hair stay cool. A behavioral adaptation is something an organism does to help it survive. So it has a behavior that helps it survive. For example, most desert animals are active at night to avoid the heat of the day. An instinct is a type of behavioral adaptation. An instinct is an inherited behavior that an animal knows how to do without having to learn it. For instance, jackrabbits stay crouched in one position whenever they sense danger. This instinct helps them hide from predators. Other behaviors help organisms survive in the desert. For example, some seeds of desert plants stay dormant or inactive until it rains. When it rains enough, the seeds grow quickly into plants that flower and make more seeds. Cactus flowers open and release their fragrance at night and close the next day. It is cooler at night in the desert. As a result, the flowers do not wilt as quickly as they would during the day. Describe a living thing with adaptations that help it survive in the desert. Explain how each adaptation helps. So you can use one that you just read about. Last 2 pages, 176 and 177. Who can take the cold? Polar environments are very cold places. How do plants and animals survive in cold places such as Antarctica and the Arctic? Temperatures in Antarctica rarely get above freezing even in summer. Plants and animals that live there have adaptations to live in extreme cold. Emperor penguins have a thick layer of fat, a physical adaptation that keeps them warm on land and in water. To protect themselves from very cold winds, male penguins huddle together in large groups. The behavior is an instinct that helps male penguins and their newly hatched baby penguins keep warm. The Antarctic pearlwort grows close to the ground in the warmer, wetter parts of Antarctica. Black feathers on the backs of emperor penguins absorb heat from the sun, which helps them keep warm, along with their layer of fat. The Arctic has extremely cold winters and very short summers. Arctic animals have thick fur and a layer of fat to keep the body heat in. Some Arctic animals are often white in the winter, which helps them blend in with the snow. These characteristics are physical adaptations. Arctic animals also have behavioral adaptations. For example, many Arctic animals live in dens dug into the ground or snow during very cold months. Most Arctic plants have short roots because the ground there is frozen the majority of the year. These plants produce seeds during the short summer when the ground isn't frozen. Most Arctic plants grow close to the ground, which helps protect them from strong, cold Arctic winds. The prairie crocus has fuzzy hairs that cover its flowers and seeds. The hairs protect the plant from wind and trap heat from the sun. The Arctic hare grows white fur in the winter to blend in with the snow. They sit with their paws, tails, and ears tucked in to keep it from losing body heat. Compare the adaptations that help desert jackrabbits and the Arctic hare survive in their environment. So you need to think back to the jackrabbit and how are they able to survive in their environment, which is more of a warm environment, compared to the Arctic hare, who is in the cold. Okay, so make sure you answer that question. If you have any other questions, please make sure to reach out on Google Classroom or Class Dojo. I hope you enjoyed reading along with me, and I will see you tomorrow.